Well, who is going to make the big push? We are locked at 11 apiece. Coming up, it's doubles. It's the Brits against Troup and Kent. Then Williams against Kent in singles. Later on in singles, Martin Larsson against the American skipper Sean Rash. And the session concludes when Jesper Svensson and EJ Tackett go head-to-head for the third time in singles competition in this year's Weber Cup. It is all to play for. We know we are definitely going into a Sunday evening session here, because both these two teams still need 8 more points, and there are only 6 more up for grabs right now. Do you go for the confidence of the Americans? Do you go for the experience of the Europeans? Quite frankly, Cass, given the quality of the players out there right now, no result would come as a surprise, would it, from here?
Crikey, we have to sit on the fence, obviously, but you really couldn't call it. I mean, we've got 8 of the world's top players here.
Right, I'm getting in with that logics.
I mean, they travel together, they're great friends, they dine together, they travel together, they room together, especially these two. Williams and Barrett have been buddies for years and years and years and bowled together.
Ready?
So it's going to be very interesting to see as we go through the session and then into the evening session tonight.
All right, good luck. Good luck, Stuart.
And as I'm sure you've already worked out, we've put microphones on the players for the doubles. So we will listen in between shots to see what is being discussed. Sometimes that is very interesting. Sometimes it's what are they going to have for dinner. But you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, 4 right-handers all playing down the right-hand side of the lane, which has already had 1 game on it. So there may well be some oil that's moved around and transitioned. The players, again, will have to look out for the any different reactions in their bowling ball and make necessary adjustments.
And before a ball has been bowled, a question. How has Dominic Barrett managed to adjust after his really disappointing effort? Oh, and that's not the great start. I mean, yeah, now what's bothered him? He did not have a good singles match. He faded out pretty badly. And we talked about the need for him to adjust to get it right for the doubles match, and he started off with a false start.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it was. We mentioned to somebody in the audience, but he's going to go back. He's going to regroup. He won't let it worry him.
Well, it certainly didn't worry him, did it?
Well, he's actually playing that deep inside line. I was quite surprised to see him there, but it's a great-looking strike.
This is going to be... oh boy, this last match is going to be sexy.
Something like that.
Can't complain about the shot. Great-looking line, great reaction in the back end.
So up comes Kyle Troup, who really looked good in his singles match a few moments ago. He's out of the pocket.
Go for it.
Crikey. Don't worry, Marshall said. What a strange looking lead that is for a right-hander.
And in doubles, it means that the next guy up has to bowl at the spare. So Marshall Kent has been thrown a mess to try and clear up.
It's the 4, 6 and the 9 pin. Now, he possibly could bounce this 6 onto the 9 and hope it jumps across the lane. But can only take 2, and it's an open frame.
Well, we've seen plenty of matches won this weekend from an open frame in frame 1.
Yeah.
So that alpha, because only 3 left and it's double.
Still got that alpha?
Yeah, it is cleaner.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I got around that a good bit, but
yeah, it wasn't bad.
nothing banged off of it.
Yeah. Still making another move off it too, or?
Sounds like Carl's going to make a ball change already.
Indeed, and that decision endorsed by Marshall Kent as well. Now, here's Stu Williams. You heard what he thinks about this match. Well, that's how he would have wanted to start out.
Nice little slapper on the 10 then.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Hey, we were Mike when we were done. Come on, go for it. That's funny.
They've just realised that they're mic'd. I'm not sure what they're going to say, but a great looking shot.
It's funny how that looked really good, and then you see the 5 pin being really long.
Flew off.
Stuart Williams with a microphone on.
Smooth.
Goodness me.
Maybe somebody should tell them that we can hear them.
Oh, they know. They know. Now then, this is interesting. What adjustments does Kyle Troup make? New ball. And he's only just made that. Listen, he won't be too happy about that. He barely clipped that head pin.
Well, a lot of speed and just made the head pin, but he's changed his line. He's come way left with his feet. Just threw it out and back.
Same result. He needs to down the.
Well, he knows it wasn't a good one, that's for sure. Look at that, it's only just caught the head pin.
Yeah, very fortunate to get that 2-pin to drop. But it counts as 10. Actually counts as 30, doesn't it?
So here's Barrett looking for another 30, and he kicked that in. It was very late hooking, but hooking it did.
That was a little fast, that one.
Yeah. Looked like you got a little bit like in to out.
Yeah, I moved one and it was a bit firm, but everything's a bit quick.
Yeah, it was like it ended up going long right, sort of thing.
Yeah, interesting what they're saying there.
Picked up.
We don't get any points for throwing good shots.
Mentioning that they're making different moves, letting their partner know what moves they're making ball by ball.
So for the first time in the match, a full rack for Marshall Kent to look at. What does he do with it? That's the best pocket hit we've seen in this doubles match.
Shot. Ooh. I liked that one off my hand.
Yeah, bowlers know immediately, don't they? He said, I liked it off my hand. As soon as that was gone, he knew.
Absolutely perfect, wasn't it? Flushed the 1-3 pocket, carried all 10 pins. 21 pin difference between the sides. It's perfect for Barrett and Williams for Team Europe.
That's another one that was late breaking, but it did the job.
Yeah, I think Stuart's going to mention that was a little bit unlucky, that one, but it counts.
No.
I was happy that hit light.
Yeah.
If that had caught up a little bit, that'd have flat 10 for sure.
Good.
Yeah, the ball hit light. Stuart said so, and he said if it hit it perfect, it could well have left the flat 10 pin in the corner. Hey ho.
Well, let's see what Troup can come up with now. This has not been a convincing showing from him in doubles. The opposite of what he achieved in singles.
Yes,
now,
sir.
that's a bit more like it. That is his best shot of this doubles match.
Just letting us know that he moved 2 boards on that shot.
I was going to move 3. Sean said move
3
1,
strikes in a row.
2. But then I got around that one a little bit more.
That one looked good.
It was a 2-pin. I super rolled it.
Yeah, looked good.
I've got to get around it a little bit.
It's so interesting to hear what the world's top pros say when they bowled either a good ball or a bad ball.
Let's get back in there.
Well, that's another one that's taken that late hooking line from Don Barrett.
Whatever he did to that rack seems to be doing better for us here. The light hit seems to be at least getting out.
Stu Williams, first British bowler to win a title on the PBA Tour, followed by Don Barrett the following week with his World Championship win.
It's gone pretty wide, that has, yeah, and he's missed the head pin. Makeable spare, sorry, Cass, but he lost control of that one right off the fingers.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. You could see that it just came off of his fingers wrong, and he almost went down on one knee, and he was just looking terrible. It's gone so wide, it hasn't made the head pin. It's left the 1-2 in the 10, which is a makeable spare if you can clip that head pin left-hand side. Or if Carl can, anyway.
Yeah, it's very makeable, and he has to make it to keep the Americans in this one. Oh, he's unlucky. He really is unlucky there. I mean, he sent those 2 pins either side of the 10.
Well, if you're lucky, you'll also get a kick pin back, come off the kickback. And it just hasn't happened. In fact, it's too light. Could have hit that a bit heavier, would have gone straight onto that 10-pin. Just lays flat there.
Well, a second open frame when your opponents are bowling perfect. That's pretty much all over, really, for the Americans here.
You say that in frame 5, and I would probably agree with you, but anything can happen.
Yeah, they've still got work to do here, haven't they, the Europeans? It's but they can probably spare out from here and be okay. They're not even thinking about sparing out.
Yeah, baby.
Nick, they could strike out and have 300.
That one in. Last little shot.
Yep. Let's finish this one off.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about the score, they're thinking about the point that they're going to win, which is almost in the bag already.
Well, I think if there had been any doubt at all, this last strike from Stu Williams has really erased those doubts. It's nothing but damage limitation now for the Americans, who just have to strike out off the sheet and hope that something very unfortunate befalls the Europeans, because this is completely out of their control now.
Yeah, and big pressure on Marshall Kent, because he's up in the singles game next against Stuart Williams. So one's riding high and the other's struggling a little bit.
Was more like it, but he doesn't take the 10, and if there were any residual doubts about where this point was going, that's the end of that. The gap grows to plus 50 pins now, and the Americans are not pulling that back.
No, you're quite right. Just the 4 frames to go after this shot.
Good point you made there, Cass. I mean, Troup isn't involved. I don't think he's involved the rest of the session, so he can relax now from here. But Kent, very involved. As you say, he's got an important singles match, and he's got to get this lane worked out. So we'll be watching Kent very closely.
That's what's false, yeah.
I actually did what I wanted to do on that one.
Just you think you get to do in the loft deal, or
I think I might as well.
There you go. He's just saying he's going to get a urethane ball and loft it next game. They're already talking about the next game as if this one is done and dusted, which it really is. And of course, Stuart Williams is riding high.
So Barrett looking to try and keep this streak alive, turn it into a 7-bagger, which he does. What a strike that was! Oh.
Winner, chicken dinner.
What a doubles team these two are, and have been for years.
Yes, sir.
I'll take 1 on that, and it picks up.
Yep.
Plenty.
Stalwarts of the European side, and this is Dom's 10th Weber Cup and Stu's 7th.
Now let's see what Kent's going to start doing. If anything, that was I think it was a ball change, was it?
Ball change, yeah, but he's got a couple of frames that he can practice with either another ball or another line. It really doesn't matter what they shoot now, the game's gone. Point is with the Europeans, and we're just now looking forward to, as spectators, looking for a 300 game maybe.
Yes, that's what interests us going into frame 8, what Kent is going to do and whether the Europeans can get the 300.
Track too, though, so that didn't help.
Yeah, Kent is really dissecting what's been going on in this lane right now with the assistance of Kyle Troup. Stuart Williams also in singles action up next against Kent. Nothing he would wish to change, and right now he'll be hoping to make it 8 strikes in a row. Let's see if the big fella from Ellesmere Port can do it. Oh, what a shame.
Stewie!
Damn it.
Shot, mate.
Well, it's a shame. I mean, it was a pretty good shot. The reason the 10-pin's standing up is the ball just snapped back too much. Created a huge angle as it went through the pocket.
And the reaction from the two players tells you they were thinking 300.
Yeah, I was to say the game was won, and that was the thing
kind
to
of
go
went away
for.
from the game plan then. I moved in a little bit more, but I got my hand around it, and I can't do that. I've got to. It's probably better to miss now than it's the next game, but that's annoying.
Well, that was the Marshall Kent loft. But he said he was going to try out for next game. He's practiced it here and it's worked, so it'll be interesting to see how he finishes the last 2 frames.
Hopefully he does. Super glue. Super glue.
And by lofting, they're talking about the ball going through the air for the first 6, 7, 8 feet, not hitting the oil. Williams is hoping that this doesn't carry over into that singles match.
Well, he's close, but not quite close enough. He's just showing us how to do the twist there, I think. Gone just to pick up the spare. Strike for a 278 game. Obviously the victory's already there. And some encouragement now for Carl Troup from our audience here in the Metrodome.
I don't think Troup was remotely bothered about that. It was far more important to get his partner up to the lane. And he may well bowl just a strike ball here, because it's irrelevant trying to dig out this spare. Let's see if he carries on with the loft.
You might want to record
well
it.
Spotted, Nick. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Although that's a spare ball that's
That
come
is,
out,
isn't
I
it?
think. Let's have a look. Yeah. Just went for 2. You would have, as you say, thought he may have practiced a strike shot.
That's a surprise. Because he now may not bowl again in this match. This will be Williams' last ball. And he finishes off the way he will want to carry on in singles competition. Big score from the double Brit partnership.
A super 278. Carl will just finish off for Team USA.
Well, he doesn't really want to strike. I mean, you would think, let's get Kent back up there again.
I gotta throw another one?
Done.
I've got to throw that split, says Marshall. Well, that's the rules of Scotch doubles.
Left hand.
Oh, he's going to go left-handed, he's telling everybody. Watch this one.
That's pretty good.
Just the one. It's the low game for the Team USA, 192.
It wasn't the final score that mattered, it was getting the point in the bag for Don Barrett, who is leading the applause. The Europeans back in business, a big win. Now, Marshall Kent and Team USA will need to regroup and recover quickly, because Kent will be in action against Stu Williams next, with Europe back in front, 12-11.